Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are stripping away the noise to find one of those singular, unexpected truths you find hidden deep in the research.
And this one is a real paradox, a story that just turns everything on its head.
It really is. We're focusing on the story of Kitasan Black, a horse that, well, he completely redefined what it means to have a championship pedigree.
Or, maybe more accurately, to defy the lack of one.
Exactly, to just throw it out the window.
That's our mission for this deep dive. We're going through the sources that chronicle his whole career. The people's champion, they called him.
And we really need to understand how he did it. How did this horse get 7 G1 victories, found a dynasty, when his bloodline basically screamed failure?
Well, that's the thing.
Okay, let's unpack this then, because the tension starts right at the beginning, not with a race, but with the owner.
The legendary Anka superstar
Yeah.
Saburo Kitajima.
Sabucho? Right. And this wasn't just some rich owner buying a fancy horse. This was a man who came from humble beginnings himself. And his horse, well, it felt like his horse was expected to do the same thing, to earn it.
It's a potent theme, isn't it?
Yes.
Effort over inherited privilege. It defines his entire story.
So let's jump right into that skepticism, because it wasn't just a feeling. It was based on cold, hard facts about his lineage when he was born back in 2012. Why did the experts look at his family tree and just write him off for the big races?
It really boils down to this double shadow that was hanging over him. First, you have the sire, Black Tide.
Okay.
Now, he was a decent G2 level runner, but his real fame came from being the full brother of the legend Deep Impact.
The monument.
Exactly. So in the Japanese breeding world, that automatically made Black Tide the less successful, overshadowed sibling. He wasn't seen as a source for a true champion.
So if you wanted that magic, you went straight to Deep Impact's kids, not his brothers.
Precisely. You wanted the real thing, not the diluted version. That was the thinking. And that was already a tough start for Kitasan Black.
And what was the second factor? The sources say it was even more of a red flag.
It was the dam side. It was all about stamina, or the perceived lack of it. His dam, Sugar Heart, never even raced. And her sire was Sakura Bakushin O.
Ah. And for anyone who doesn't know that name,
He was the sprint king. I mean, arguably the most famous pure sprinter in modern Japanese history. All about blinding short-distance speed.
so we're talking about 1,200 meters, a 6-furlong dash.
Yes. Pure speed, not stamina. So when you combine a G2 level sire with the dam line that's all about sprinting, the genetic expectation is, at best, a middle-distance horse.
Right, and the question that was in all the racing papers was,
How can this horse possibly handle the grueling, lung-bursting 2 miles of a race like the Kikuku Show or the Tenno Show Spring? On paper, it was impossible. He was bred to fail that test.
which sets the stage so perfectly for the drama to come, because pedigree is just ink on paper, right?
And when that gate opened in January 2015, Kitasan Black started writing his own story.
It sure did. He comes out and rattles off 3 straight wins right out of the gate, including the G2 Spring Stakes. He showed he could fight.
But the critics were just waiting. They were ready to pounce on any failure.
And they got it. He finished 3rd in the Satsuki Show, which, is respectable.
Yep.
But then came the Japanese Derby.
The Derby was a complete disaster. He finished 14th, lost in the shuffle.
And that was it. That was all the proof they needed.
It was confirmation of every single doubt about his pedigree. The headlines were brutal. They called him one-dimensional, limited. They said his early wins were just luck.
So the sources suggest they almost gave up on the classics entirely after that. So what changed? How did they turn it around?
This is where it gets really interesting. The sources point to them just doubling down on his strength. They recommitted to his grinding front-running style.
He wasn't a sprinter. He wasn't going to have that explosive final kick.
Never. He had to win with his heart in his lungs. So he comes back in the autumn, wins the St. Light Cannon, and then they enter him in the Kikuka Show, the Japanese St. Leger.
The ultimate test. 3,000 meters. Almost 2 miles. This is the race his genetics said he could never, ever win.
And all eyes were on that Sakura Bakushin O bloodline. Everyone was just waiting for him to fade. And he silenced them all. A bold, front-running victory. This wasn't just a win. It was a complete repudiation of his pedigree. It was like he had some hidden stamina gene that nobody knew about.
It's the perfect underdog moment. The horse bred for speed wins the ultimate endurance test on sheer will.
And the sources really capture the emotion of that day. It was the first classic win for his jockey, Hiroshi Kitamura, the first G1 for his sire, Black Tide.
And for his owner, Sabuchan, it was the dream realized.
He then closes out the season with a really strong 3rd in the Arima Kinnan against the best older horses. The star was born.
So by the time he turns 4, the narrative has completely flipped. The skepticism is gone, and now there's expectation. And this is when the legendary partnership begins.
With the master, Yutaka Take.
And that partnership just became the engine of his entire reign.
It did. The chemistry was instant, and Yutaka Take knew exactly what this horse was. He understood Kitasan Black had to be on the lead, dictating the pace.
Using that massive cruising speed to just wear everyone else down.
Exactly. You couldn't get into a sprinting battle with him. You had to break their hearts a long way from home.
But isn't that incredibly difficult to sustain? I mean, leading from the front, race after race at the G1 level, that has to burn a horse out.
It usually does. And that's what made him so unique. His toughness, his sheer engine capacity, it just let him race aggressively season after season without breaking down.
And his 4-year-old season proved it.
Oh, absolutely. He wins the Tenno Spring, which is that 2-mile test, the ultimate stayers race. Then he takes the Kyoto Daishoten and, crucially, the Japan Cup.
The Japan Cup. That's the global stage, beating not just Japan's best, but the international horses that fly in for it.
And with those wins,
yeah,
he's named the JRA Horse of the Year. The sources all say this is the moment he officially went from underdog to emperor. He wasn't fighting for respect anymore.
He was defending his crown. But his 5-year-old season in 2017, that's where he delivers, I think, his most incredible performance. He starts off winning the newly upgraded G1 Osaka High, but then he goes back to the Tenno Spring.
That 2017 Tenno Show, it was just the apex of his career. It's what many experts call one of the greatest front-running displays in racing history. A masterclass.
And the final time is it's jaw-dropping. He didn't just break the record.
He shattered it by over a full second.
A full second, over 2 miles.
Which is just monumental. In top-level racing, shaving off a 1/10 of a second is a huge deal. To destroy a record by that much, it's a paradigm shift. It was this pure display of we will not be caught.
You can just see it. The other jockeys thinking they're going way too fast, that he has to come back to them, but he just keeps finding more.
That's the image, exactly. It sent a message that this horse just had an engine nobody could match.
But what's fascinating here is that even champions can stumble.
And he did. After that incredible record, he runs in the Takarazuka Kinnan and finishes 9th, shockingly far behind.
And the critics come right back out.
Instantly. The narrative swings back. He's burned out. The record took too much out of him. Overseas plans were scrapped. It was a genuine crisis.
But champions answer with actions, not words. And his final autumn in 2017, it was just a perfect farewell tour, a coronation.
It was spectacular. Take the Tenno Autumn that year. The conditions were brutal, heavy rain, a muddy, slow track.
And he got a bad start.
A terrible start. 3 things that should guarantee defeat for a front-runner.
But he just powered through the mud like a tank.
He did. It was pure heart. He willed himself to the lead and just would not be denied. His 6th G1 win, a victory on pure fighting spirit.
And then the storybook ending. The Arima Kinnan, his retirement run.
The sources paint this beautiful picture. The whole stadium is just thundering his name, and he and Yutaka Take put on a tactical clinic. They went to the front, controlled the race, and won his 7th G1.
The perfect farewell. He retires with 7 G1s, back-to-back Horse of the Year titles, and at the time, the highest career earnings in Japanese racing history. An icon.
An absolute icon. And later, a Hall of Famer in 2020. But what's key here is that his legacy was really just getting started.
Right, because he starts his stud career in 2018. And again, the skepticism returned.
It follows him everywhere, doesn't it? The thinking was, he's too big, too tough, he's a stayer. Will that translate in an era that just craves pure speed?
But that caution was misplaced.
It was thrown out the window almost immediately. Because Kitasan Black didn't just become a good sire, he became a super sire. And that's almost entirely thanks to one horse.
Equinox.
Equinox. The horse that validated everything. The sources call him a once-in-a-generation monster.
And he was. He wins 6 G1s in a row, sets a world record, and gets ranked the best racehorse on the planet.
And the poetry of it is just incredible. Just like his father, he conquers the Tenno Show and the Arima Kinnan. The son proves the father's blueprint was genius.
So it wasn't a fluke. His ability, his stamina, it was genetically dominant.
Exactly. And it's not just Equinox. He's got other stars now. Solorian's won the Satsuki Show. You've got Gaia Force, Wilson DeSoro.
And there's one more piece to the puzzle, one that completes the family story.
Yes. A horse named Croix du Nord. In 2025, he goes and wins the Japanese Derby.
The one classic title that Kitasan Black himself missed.
The Black Crown finally claimed them all. The dynasty was complete.
So when we boil it all down, this deep dive shows us what made him a legend. He was tough, honest, unbelievably durable. A fearless frontrunner who just got better every single year.
He was a true champion of effort, not privilege.
He absolutely was.
He carried the hopes of his owner, the weight of a nation, and he just met every challenge with this relentless heart. He won loud, he lost bravely, and he became a legend through sweat and mud.
A magnificent story of proving everyone wrong.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more.